What part of your personality do you fake?
How fucking calm I always am.
I feel this. I'm always angry and about to blow. I just have exceptional self-control, so people very rarely actually see my anger issues.
Extraversion. I'm a middle school teacher.
I, too, get paid to be an extrovert. I'm an assistant.
I'm an introvert, and whenever I tell people at work that they look at me unbelievingly. But to be successful at work I've had to work really hard at being more extroverted. It's so draining. Every day I'm exhausted mentally. But when I get home the sweet sound of silence and my dog's happy feet.
Yup, my last boss once said something to me of the effect, "I'm glad I didn't hire an introvert," after some event or meeting where I was on for the whole thing and was able to get some projects moving forwards due to that. I laughed, then explained to him I am an introvert, being so social and stuff being on actually takes a lot out of me, but I can do it when required as long as I can go home and recharge in private for hours, which is what the chief difference between an extrovert and introvert is, I've been told.
Patience. On the inside, I'm screaming at you to hurry up. On the outside, I'm saying, no, it's fine. Take your time. For real, I get it. Take your time, dear.
Hey, that's kind of what patience is to me. Maybe I'm too cynical. Maybe other people can say it's fine without being annoyed underneath it.
I agree with you. It's like the difference between being brave and unafraid. Bravery is doing the thing despite existing fear. Patience is remaining calm and accommodating despite wanting things hurried along.
Being nice. I have some pretty mean and dickish tendencies naturally, but I do my best to be nice to everyone in spite of myself.
Well, I think if you make a conscious effort to be nice to people and not let some darker tendencies take over, that legit makes you a nice person. We all have a dark side in us, but what I think really counts is how we act and behave towards others.
Shut up, bitch.
What is better? To be born good or to overcome your evil nature through great effort? Parthenax, Skyrim. I think in the case of humans it's more how we were raised. If your parents always lashed out instead of being chill, it's hard to get rid of that. But I think if one is strong enough to live kindness despite it, it will take hold in you and become your nature.
Confidence. I always give off that leader energy when I actually lack self-esteem and I don't know what I'm doing most of the time. I just don't like asking for help or bothering others, so everyone thinks highly of me when it's all just a facade.
Me. Day job, you're really good in front of the client, will you lead this meeting? I'm the most junior on the team. Night job, you're a really great server, you're so good with people. Friends, you're so confident, I don't know how you do it. Inside, oh my god, what the fuck am I doing? How? I can't. Oh fuck, they're looking at me, what did they say? Shit. Internal tears flow because I'm now freaking out about what this means I need to do now, and I just wanna cry myself to sleep in the corner like the emotionally stunted eccentric lady I am. Me out loud, I sure will, no problem, oh thank you, I appreciate that,
I'll let you in on a secret. With all the failing you think you do, we others still think of you higher than we do of others. Otherwise you wouldn't be asked to do those things. When people push you forward to lead the charge, be it serving, running meetings or talking to people on their behalf, they trust and believe in you. You sound like a pretty cool guy, and I hope all your meetings go well today.
That I care about stuff. Most of the times it's hard for me to care about anything, but pretending to care makes the people around me happy and it doesn't really take a toll on me. Edit, my first award on Reddit. Thank you, kind stranger. Edit, I do not care much for the award, but you gotta appreciate someone who just awarded you something.
Wish I could say the same. I care a bit too much sometimes. It's pretty exhausting and I wish I could turn it off.
Oh god, yes. The worst part is I work in a call center, between the deadline and customer services, both inbound. Thankfully, none of this harassing people stuff. Especially on the deadline, I get some really genuine people having a hard time on the line and will worry about them so much, I end up giving them my email. I don't have a direct line thankfully. I'll find myself checking up on their accounts months, sometimes a year or two, later to check all is still well and, where they have an outstanding balance, etc. and haven't been able to pay it, I'll put a hold on their account for 31 days, etc. It may wear me out, but I like to give people the chances that I've been given at times or that I could have done with. My devotion to my customers, well, the ones who are willing to help themselves, some just can't be helped, along with a medical condition does mean that my 2 free days a week, not always Sat and Sun either, as I work every third Sat, means I am left absolutely shattered on many of my days off. People ask why I do it, give so much effort, go in hours early and stay hours late, usually unpaid, when I could be at home. Well, I believe that, if a job is worth doing, it's worth doing well. I'd want my family to have good service if they were struggling. These people are also somebody's family. Edit, thank you very much to the anonymous Redditors for my first silver and gold. I feel so privileged and am so grateful. I just do my job to the best of my ability. It's something my dad and grandma instilled in me from an early age.
I'm a black guy who has no discernible accent. I code switch all the time depending on who I'm talking to. I'm fairly certain no one knows what my actual accent and speech sounds like at this point. Edit, woke up to 18,000 upvotes. Well, I'll be damned.
Same here, but I'm East Asian. My personality kinda changes along with the language I am using too.
Just mess with people. I once had an East Asian customer with the deepest, thickest Jamaican accent I've ever heard.
I was waiting for my TA one day, and in walks a cute young Korean woman. I thought, well, even if the class sucks, I'll have a cute colleague to have a drink with after. Then out of her mouth dropped the thickest Minnesotan accent I've ever heard. I visibly triple-tacked, and she laughed, saying she gets that all the time.
Being sociable when I really want to GTF away from people.
This is me. I'm the funny wisecrack at social gatherings, but what I really love is running and hiking alone, I know, and driving around alone listening to music. Being alone is restorative for me because of my job.
You're not really faking to be social, you're just introvert like me. We still need social interactions once in a while, even if we hate it because it's exhausting for us. I found interesting that, even if I prefer staying at home instead of going out with friends, it doesn't bother me playing with online friends all weekend.
The bubbly one when I open gifts. My face can't lie, but I at least try to sound happy. Edit, I'm so glad that I am not alone in this.
This is mine. Even if I receive a gift I love, I hate opening gifts in front of people. I hate attention and having all eyes on me.
That I don't care about my grades. I care, but I can't stop myself from procrastinating and not getting stuff done, so I just play it off like I don't care. Edit, so apparently I might have undiagnosed ADHD. I'll definitely look into that. Thanks for the responses, everyone.
Ugh, I have this problem too. It's so stupid because it's mostly me lying to myself. Oh, you don't care about grades, then waking up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat panic because I have procrastinated to no end. I'll look at the material and get overwhelmed because it's too much work and then keep procrastinating. It's an endless cycle.
Exactly, I get a packet due in a month and sit down the first day I get it thinking how easy this'll be if I just work on a little bit every day, but I don't work on it at all and end up doing it all in one night and getting no sleep.
Set limits on yourself. I know, you've probably heard it before. Break the task up into smaller bits. If is due in a month, break it into 20 pieces and work one a day. No fun activities until one task is complete. Work for 40 to 50 minutes, then change tasks to something else that needs to be accomplished, chores, cooking, etc. Honestly, that helps. Won't solve it overnight, but it will get you on the right path.
I often have to fake emotional responses to meet people's expectations, especially when someone says they miss me a lot or even just saying, I love you, and I know I have to say it back even if I don't feel anything.
I feel that. In general, I don't miss people. I never lead with, I missed you. For me it's always, I missed you too, and it always feel like it's a lie, and I feel bad about lying. It's so strange to me when people can sense a gap in their life for me, and I just can't manage to return that feeling. I like them and love them and empathize with them fine. I just never feel that longing for them to be around. Edit, and it's not as though I don't get lonely, but I chalk that up to a general lack of company.
This is exactly what I'm trying to express. Sometimes you don't need people in the same way they need you. It's not that you love them less, but you love them differently, and there's no point in hurting their feelings by not saying, I miss you too.
When I was little, if my mum ever went on a trip, she would come back and tell me that she missed me so much and that she just couldn't wait to be back to see her kids. She'd always say, "Did you miss me?" And me as a 7-year-old would be like, "Well, I didn't really miss you because I see you every day and I knew you were gonna come back. I love you, but I didn't miss you." My mum thought it was hilarious, so she would always ask that just to hear me say something along those lines. She still asks me that now that I'm in my 20s. But I live far away and I do miss her now.
Being happy all the time, but it does actually make me a more joyful person.
Being happy all the time is exhausting. I strive for contentment.
I've realized the single greatest life hack in the world is this. Just smile. Smile at everyone you meet, whether it's family, co-worker or a random cashier, even if you're not particularly happy. It's inherently infectious, everyone will treat you better and most of the time you'll end up inadvertently making yourself actually happy as well.
I do this at work and I feel like I'm on the brink of laughing at a joke that nobody is telling. I was kind of embarrassed once when someone asked, "Why are you smiling at your computer?" Like I had no idea. It's honestly like remembering a funny joke except there isn't one, like emotional muscle memory. I dunno, feels good even though it's a little weird. Around my friend I'm a much weirder person. But I always fake being serious around people I don't know because I get too anxious about whether or not they like me.
That's me, I'm a natural weirdo but I have to tone it down when I'm around anyone that's not my boyfriend.
Empathy. I care about my loved ones, but when my coworker's marriage is falling apart and they're confiding in me, I really just don't care. However, most people I know think I'm super caring.
I fake the exact opposite. I care way too much about stuff and I get too invested in matters out of my reach or control, so I moderate it to remove myself from the situation when it is too much.
Me too. It has taken a lot of practice to show that I genuinely care, but in reality I am cringing on the inside unless they are family, friends.
I feel for these people, not because of their problems, but because they seem to have nobody to go to but you, a person who is not their family or friend. I was in a situation where a person I knew was bawling her eyes out about relationship problems. I couldn't really give a shit, but I guess she didn't care either if I did. All she wanted to do was cry and have someone to be there or something. All I could do was pat her head like a dog.
Customer service.
Had a guy come into my store last night yelling, "Get the fuck out of my way," and honestly me telling him to fuck off was the most genuine interaction I've had with a customer in months.
As a very spontaneous person, this is scary. Like, does everyone around me have a fake personality? Do people pretend to care about me or my interests to avoid awkwardness? Thanks for the existential crisis, gal.
Don't worry, people generally overestimate how good they are at fake caring. You probably pick up on it instinctively most of the time, when it happens. I often feel uncomfortable around people who are too nice, because it's disingenuous and fake. There is a difference between being nice and being kind and I much prefer the latter. You can pick up on genuine kindness pretty easily too, it's more subtle and will go with the person's actions. Also, Reddit is skewed towards a very specific demographic. Don't worry about mean people who vent here because they can't do it anywhere else.
They also overstate what is fake. A lot of times it just means something they have to work at. But it's still something they consider a part of themselves, a part of who they want to be. For example, someone faking being brave is just being brave. That's what bravery is. Someone who pretends to care obvious does care to some extent. Someone pretending to be happy is trying to be happy. Someone pretending to be extroverted enjoys talking with people, or at least what they get out of it. In short, being fake often doesn't mean being disingenuous as much as it means that it takes work to be who you want to be.